Hello again. We're back on the white Escort because we've got a rally coming up in a couple of weeks and I've got a few bits and pieces to do just to get it ready. This is our local big event, the Jersey Rally, and it's an epic rally. I think we've got 119 stage miles and 100 odd road miles or something like that. So at the moment the front's jacked up to stop the oil going from the oil tank into the engine because it just overflows and starts leaking out. I need to have a big clear up because I've been working on other cars as well. I need to move the bike out, so I'll have a bit of a sort out. We've got some new oil, some Millers, so we're going to put that in, and we've got different types of gearbox oil. I think that's the new stuff and that's the original stuff. So that's what's in the gearbox at the moment, but apparently this stuff is better. So someone who rebuilds these 50G sequentials said he can tell whether or not they've used the 140 oil because they're always much better when he pulls them apart. So I'll swap it over. I mean, it hasn't done a lot, a couple of rallies, but it won't hurt to swap it over. Today's job, I've got to pull the diff cover off because we'll get under there later. There's a leak coming out of the diff. I've pulled the extinguishers out, ready to get them serviced. I've still got my kit in here. I need to have a good sort out. Oh yeah, I've got the bit that broke on the starter motor. I need to put that on. That's a cover that goes onto the back of the starter motor. I've got the coil pack is just there, and I'm a bit concerned about water getting onto it. If it rains, I want to get something that can cover these holes. That if it rains, I can put on. That will stop water getting into it. That starter motor seems to work all right. I had the problem of it not starting, but I've done quite a few. A lot of stop starts at the hill climbs, and it started fine each time then, so fingers crossed. Hopefully the problem was the lack of shielding on the crank sensor, so I'll tidy that up a bit. I might put like a metal bracket over it. They're the new leads. I need to tidy them up a bit. I was going to move the coil pack, but I think I don't know, I'll see. I think everything else, yeah, we're going to change the engine oil. Yeah, look, you can see that's oil that's dripping out the engine because I know that I'll look in the oil tank in the back and it'll be quite low down. Also need to check the front up a bit more. It's alright if you use it quite a bit, but I haven't used it for 3 weeks, I think, and yeah, it does that. I need to put the sump guard back on, but obviously I need to start motor and everything first. So yeah, let's get tidied up, I think, first job. That's the other thing I need to do. I've got some empty fuel cans, so I want to drain all the fuel out of the tank in this, because they're halfway through the last day of hill climbs. We're getting a little misfire, top of the rev range, so it could have been HT leads, it could be fuel filter, it could be contaminated oil. A lot of people seem to be getting misfires, so I'll drain the oil out anyway. Hopefully that will cure it, but I won't know until we get onto the first stage of the Jersey Rally, because I can't really test it. Can't test it on the roads. Yeah, there's quite a puddle on the floor of gearbox diff oil. So what I did was when I replaced the diff, I never took this piece off. So this piece I sealed between here and here, the diff cover and this reinforcement plate, but obviously the reinforcement plate had moved and it isn't, the seal's gone between that and the back of the diff. So I need to take all this out. It's all lock wired as well. Take the diff cover off, the diff protector, drain the oil, and I have to take this off as well, and then I can reseal it. But I'll probably leave it overnight to dry out first. Right, I'm draining it into new bucket so I can have a look at and see the condition of the oil as it comes out. I suppose there's going to be a bit of bedding in because it's had new, the diff's been rebuilt. So yeah, I'm going to let it drain for quite some time because I hate gearbox oil, and the more that comes off the inside the better. I'll just start taking the brackets off now for the axle strengthener, I think it is. I don't know what it does, but I'll start taking that off. Right, that's the back plates off and the cover. I've got to clean up the sealant that's on it, and then it's just slightly dripping. I'll let it all drip out. This is the stuff that came out of it. If that's good or bad, don't know what I'm looking for. It's had a magnet on it and no bits in there. It just looks dark, but I suppose it has quite a hard time in there. Right, let's get a Stanley blade and clean up the silicone on it. That's all cleaned up, dried up, ready for the sealant. So I'm going to seal around there, put this cover on, and then put seal around here, and then put this cover onto that. And hopefully it should stop it from leaking. That's it all sealed and back on. I've just got to take these two bolts out again when I put the diff cover on it. But I can't put the diff cover on until I've put oil in. I'm not putting oil in it until I've left it 24 hours for the sealant to go fully off. I can put the, is it a Watts linkage bar? Panhard rod, I'm not sure. I can stick that back on. Right, I've just taken the starter motor out, and that's the hole in the side that I did by putting the sump guard up into it. So I've got a new cover, which goes that way, I think, without a hole in it. I think it was £12, which I thought was very reasonable. And you get screws and the long bolts. So I'm going to take these off, take these two screws out. All the brushes and that will stay where they are. Put that on, then put it back in again. That's the cover on it. That was very easy. So it's all back together again now. I'll stick it back in the car. I can go in the bin. Right, I put the diff guard on because I can get to the fill plug with it on. So that's all lock wide, all the bolts go around the edge, and the diff guard's on. So tomorrow I'll fill it up. I think that's it for today now, because I'm out tonight and it's raining, it's miserable. I think I'll have a nice shower. Right, I've topped the gearbox up. Well, I've drained the gearbox and I've filled it up with the Miller's 75/140, apparently that's stuff to use. This is stuff I used to put in the gearbox, 75/90, which is what I use in the diff as well. So I've put that in the diff, I'll put that in the gearbox. There's the stuff that came out of the gearbox. It looked like new, it was coming out. Just a little bit dark in there, but I suppose you're going to get something. So what I'm doing now is I've undone the drain bolt on the sump. So we're up to there, that high. So we've got a few litres out of it. So I've got to work out how to get it out of the oil tank. Mind you, anything like before, it'll just leak out on its own. I'm trying to think if I can disconnect one of those pipes so that comes from the tank and it might siphon it. Right, I've disconnected that one which comes from the tank, and there's a lot of oil's been coming out of it. It's hopefully that's siphoning from the tank. I could do a drop in the front down, but I need the height to get the container underneath to get the oil. So I'm gonna leave that overnight, and I'm gonna go and have a wash my hands because gearbox oil's disgusting stuff. So I'll come back tomorrow. I might actually blow through the tank with a bit of compressed air, see if that pumps any more oil out. get as much out as we can. Hello again. We're still doing a bit of preparation work before the rally. We've got 2 weeks left and I haven't touched the car for a week. I've just been busy with work and other things, but I have been spending some money. Treating myself to a shiny new helmet, more out of necessity than anything. The other helmet I had is still in date and it was all right, but I just couldn't hear a word that the navigator was saying. So I've bought this one. It's got ear cups in it, so when you put it on you can hear it just goes, everything goes quiet. So I should be able to hear what she's saying much easier now, which will be, and plus also you get such a headache in the car. So they're great between stages, that'll stop the noise, and that should stop the noise on stage. It's been sticking up. It did come with these pads as well. I don't know if they're to make it extra quiet, a bit more sound deadening. I'll have to have a look into it and try it out and see what's what. But yeah, looking forward to using that. So, right, last thing I want to do is leave it on the roof because I don't want to drop it. It's got vents in the top as well. I like that. Right, so now I've got to find out if the oil tank's empty. I might put some compressed air down there to blow all the oil out the pipe. And then I can fill it up with new oil. Got 20 litres motorsport engine oil. Was it 1050 NT? Don't know what the NT means, but it's supposed to be quite good. Yeah, I must remember to reconnect the pipe once I've blown it out. What I've done is I've put my hand over the breather, put the air, it's a tyre inflator, but I'll put that in, sealed the gap with the towel, plugged it in and blown the air down, and I can hear it. It's air coming out the other end now. It's all bubbling, so that's got all the oil out of the pipe. It's going to be a bit of a pain getting it back up again, so I might have to do the same sort of thing to pump the oil to get it started. Otherwise the pump's got to try and suck it up across and all the way to the engine. Right, I spoke to Jonesy, from Shrigley, who built the engine, and he said if I've got another coil pack, it might be an idea to replace that as well. So I'm going to see if it's got the same plug on it, just because of the misfire. So change the leads, drain the fuel, I'll see if that fits. This is the loom I made for the XC, which is under that cover, which hopefully, all going well, we should be looking at putting into the green Escort before too long. So that's got no program or anything on it, but I've got some programs I can stick on it. Let's give me some more stickers. Lovely, good bloke. So yeah, let's see if that fits. I've ordered another one. I think that was off a Peugeot 306 XS, because that's what I used on the E30 rally car when I made the loom and fit the DTA to that one. Yeah, the plugs are the same, so it is compatible. I'm guessing they're going to be banks of 2. I doubt they'd change them over, so if I swap them as they are, hopefully that'll be okay. So leads, plugs, fuel, and I haven't got any fuel in it, so it's not pointless trying to start it. Right, so I need to get some fuel, put this on, put the oil in, and then fire it up, take it for a run. Right, that's the one I've taken off, which has got numbered 1423, which didn't line up with the leads. So I thought the best bet, I've marked that 1423, is put them in the same position on the new one as it was on the old one, because I'm guessing it's, because it's wasted spark, I'm presuming it's batch fired these two and these two. That's got number 2 written on it. I've done these by length rather than what, they're all too long anyway, because these are for a Sarah Cosworth, which I presume maybe at a distributor or different coil pack. What I did find was where these go into the coil pack. Oh, it would have had a distributor because this came with an additional lead. These were too big, so I've looked at the original ones that came off the car that have been on it for some time, and they've been closed up. So I did the same to these. So they're all quite tight. Oh, that looks like it's. I'll have to take that off and have another look at that one. So fingers crossed. They're in the same orientation as they were on that one, and that should be. I think that's 2 and 3, and that's 1 and 4. Where it says on it, the other way around, 2, 3, and it's 1, 4. I'm guessing, yeah, that's 4 and 1, yeah. So I don't know if it makes any difference, but I thought I'd just keep it the same as it was. Right. Well, I've just put 20 litres of fuel in. Fired up straight away. So leads are all on the right way. I might see if I can get some different leads with different joints where they go into the coil pack. But it started up and the oil pressure didn't go up, so I turned it straight off again. I'll just have to keep pumping. I've been winding it over for ages with the belt and a drill, but I just need to keep going. It's because it's got to go from the tank. It goes out the bottom and then it comes up this blue one. It goes up above the fuel tank and then back down again. So it's got to suck it up over the tank. So I can do it with compressed air whilst I'm doing the drill. I could do with another cap actually with a Schrader valve or something on it, so I can pressurise the tank whilst I'm turning the engine over. Anyway, it's a bit, it's not that smoky there, but I've had enough. It's good, it started, which is good news. So I've got to sort wheels out, I've got to go and get some more fuel now. I'm going to put as much as I can in the tank and then go and I need 4 full of cans when I go to the rally. Need to sort the spotlights out, and then the wiring's in the engine bay, but I've got to fix it up to the light and the relay and take the stickers off the door. I think that's about it. Right, I've been using the drill and the old cam belt on the floor to wind the oil pump around, but it's just not doing anything. So what I've had to do, I don't know if you can see it there, there is the oil pressure sender. It's a capillary one, and that goes to the dash. So I've taken the top off that, and then I wound it round with the belt, without the top on, without the sender unit, the oil sender bit on the top, until oil started coming out without any bubbles in it, just flowing out. So I'll have to top the tank up, and there's oil all down the side of the engine, so I have to clean up as well. But yeah, that should help the oil pressure get up. Jonesy was saying, the guy who built the engine, that the tolerances are so small for the oil to get through. You're trying to squeeze this oil through all these tight holes, and it's full of air. So you need to release something to let the air out. So that's why taking the oil pressure sender bit off lets the air out, so it fills it with oil, and then you can get the pressure up quicker. Otherwise, I've seen people turn them over, going through starter motors, turn them over that much trying to get the oil pressure up. I've just been doing more wiring. So I've been wiring up for the spotlights. So I put a switch in, which I took a feed from the high beam relay that powers this. And I went from there to a 30 amp relay as a trigger feed. And then I went from, I earthed the relay, and then I brought a ignition powered live from behind here to the relay, and then from the relay there was some cables already fed into the bonnet for the spotlights. So that would coil up here. So I've had to uncoil it, connect it up, sort out an earth, which has gone down here. Is it there? Just tested it all and it all works. I'm not putting lights on yet because they're heavy and easy to get damaged. I'd rather leave them in. And opening the bonnet's a pain because it's fiberglass bonnet and you've got heavy lights on it. That's another job done. I believe I've got oil pressure now. I've got, was it 60 psi with the drill. I've put a 30 amp relay for the light bar. Not a relay, a trip switch, thermal cutout switch. I've got to put that cap back on the bobbin where the power came from. But I think we're pretty much there inside now. So yeah, I've had to clean up all the oil that went everywhere and I blew it out. So I don't want to put the belts on until that's dried off. I don't want to put the belt on top of oil. Yeah, moving on. I've just been buttoning up a few things, cleaning the carriage really, because there was oil soaked rags everywhere, oil everywhere. I've got a lot of that into there and there. Diff oil, gearbox oil, engine oil. And there's quite a lot, so that's 5, 10, 15, probably more than 15 litres there. So that's what I've got left in that tub. I've got some more up there. Gearbox oil, so I might take that with me to the rally, just in case we need some more. Right, I've got the next job is this alternator. I've put a new alternator on it about a year ago because you have to rev it over 4,000 to get the alternator light to go off. So I just put the same alternator on, but it turns out that's off a Fiesta, I think. But it is very close to the water pipe. So with the engine rocking, I'm just a bit concerned. So I've got like loads of different size belts, and some are too tight and you can't get the belt on. So that's a 6PK 888. 888 is the length of the belt. And so I bought a 6PK 873, so 15mm smaller. So hopefully that'll be enough to keep it away from the water pipe, but still big enough to get the belt on okay. So I'll give that a go now. Well, that belt went on just, but I can't, if it any smaller and it wouldn't have worked. But now the tensioner is about 15mm too long. So I'll wind the nuts right in, but I don't think I'll get that. I'm gonna have to cut a bit off each end. I've previously extended it, but I've got a good gap now between the belt and the water pipe and the alternator. Next thing we'll need doing is there's such a tight gap between the water pump pulley and the fan. So that's closer than I'd like, but I think I could move the fan. I think I could move the fan back. I just need to cut a bit more out. That's not a job for this rally though. I mean, it's been like that for 20 odd years. Right, let's get this off and chop. If I do it fully extended, no. I'll just close it up. I'll take 20mm off. I'll give it a bit of leeway. Well, I'm pleased with that. That's the belt on. The adjuster, I took 10mm off either side. We've got plenty of room now between the alternator and the bottom water pipe. I've just topped up the water. It's a bit hard to see what the levels are, so I find the best bet is to stick your torch down the top of the thing. So I've got it up to the max line. I took a little bit. Next job, not sure, let's see what there is to do. Oh, yeah, I want to take it for a drive, but it's just started pouring down. I want to take it for a drive, bring it back, and then put the sump guard on, because I want to check all the levels and everything before I finally put it on. But I'm not taking out the rain because it'll just bring loads of water into the garage. I'll be lying on it and it won't be very pleasant. So I think I might as well put the spotlights on, get them done because they've got to be on for scrutineering. That's the spotlights on. Well, LED bar it's called. I wasn't keen on these. These don't seem to feel like they're connecting very well, so I'm going to take those off, put new ones on. Yeah, this looks a bit... I did these ones, but I haven't done this one. And then there's some... I've got some piggyback connectors that make 1 into 2, and that, so I think I'll start again and do it. So it's they're new joints, and I've got to get them fitted to the bonnet. Obviously, it's near the cam belt. I don't want anything coming loose. So I could probably get a cable tie through there or something onto there. Right, let's get some electrical tools out. I think that'll do for the spotlights. I've cable tied it around the bolts holding the spotlight on, and I've drilled a hole, put a cable tie through just to hold the cables out of the way because they don't go anywhere near the cam belt. Bonnet's really heavy now. Right, let's get this bonnet shut. I think I've just double checked everywhere, making sure there's nothing that I can see that's going to be a problem. I've just cleaned up there was oil on the floor from where I was winding it over to get the oil pressure built up. I'm going to see how much oil's in the tank, see how much has dripped down and gone into the engine. It's still pouring it down with rain, so I don't really want to drive it like this, purely because it's just going to fill the garage with water when I come back. I've got all day tomorrow as well, so I've got plenty of other things to do to keep me busy. I've just had someone come round. I had to do a quick passport for them. Everyone's panicking, there's not much time left with all the rally. I've pumped the tyres up, they've all gone down a little bit, but they do because they get hot and you reduce the pressure. So hopefully it'll start with lots of oil pressure. So lift pump, high pressure pump. Beautiful. Right, I can take it for a spin now. Well, I'm well pleased with that. That drove lovely, really nice. What a difference having the headphones on though. Makes it a lot more bearable. It just started to rain on the way back, so I've realised I need a new set of wiper blades, so I need to order them. Need to get some spark plugs as well, because I don't know how many I've got left, and it does tend to go through them. But it did feel like it drove much better than it normally did, but it might just be a while since I've driven it. So I think that's it for a test drive. That I'm really happy with that. I've got to get the extinguishers, I've got to pick them up and put them back in because they've just been serviced. Right, another thing I needed to do was the old nav light. It was the old type bulb. I like the LED bulbs because they take a lot more. The old type get hot, and if you bang them about, which is going to happen, they can break. So I fitted this one, which when I bought it, it was like £30 or something. And when I paid for it, they said £5. And I said, well, that's a lot cheaper than they said. And they said, yeah, it's red, no one wants it. So I googled it, and apparently like submarines, aeroplanes, policemen now, they all use red lamps because you can, I'll turn it on, you can see just as well with it, and when you look up, your eyes don't take so long to get used to the dark. So I don't know why. Apparently deer can't see it, so when they go hunting they use red torches. But we took it out in the Micra when we were doing the stages, and I just wedged it in the ashtray, and we tried it out, and she loved it. She said it was great, so we're sticking with that. That's all fitted in now. I think that's it. Oh, wheels and tyres. So what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'll leave it till tomorrow. So yeah, I'm really pleased, and I think we'll stop it there, stop the video. Next one will be after the rally or during the rally or whatever. So fingers crossed, hopefully everything's as it should be. I was going to change the screen, but I've been thinking about it, and there's things that can go wrong changing the screen. So I might as well leave it as it is and do that afterwards. It's got a heated screen, so it's got loads of wires that run down it. And most of them all right, but there's a couple that are missing down here. But it's only when you first start it. The car warms up pretty quick. The exhaust is just down there, so that puts a lot of heat in the car, so that will demist what's left. I've got to always put a rag in it as well. So yeah, so that's it for this one. See you next time. Thanks for watching.